All right behind me we have some brand new footage of Mysterio, and this looks like it's going to be the current Sinister Six team, which is going to be Vulture, Rhino, Shocker, Green Goblin, and Mysterio. So this is developer-provided footage. So if you look in the corner there, it says development build. Actually, you can only see where it says development, but this is a development build. So this is beta gameplay footage subject to change, and it's a part of the Fox Next Envoy program, which I'm a part of. It just means that I'm a volunteer content creator. I'm not employed by Fox Next. And we get this footage in advance just to make videos and give our opinions. Now, the initial thoughts about all of this right here is that Mysterio has a very good kit, very fun. There's still some things unclear about it. And they have pretty much said that this is not going to be like a top-tier arena team. So I don't know where it falls. But I like the characters. I like the kits. We're going to go over Mysterio kits now. The next Blitz that is on the 18th is going to be Shocker. And then on August 1st and then on the 8th is going to be Vulture. And then somewhere in between is going to be Mysterio. And so I think that's very good. We're going to get a lot of Vulture. Now let's take a look at his kit real quick. And before we go into the kit, we're going to look at stats. And the main thing right here, and this is, I guess, was a big secret because the studio, I like that how he lifts up his helmet. They didn't want everybody to know that he was a villain. And he's historically a villain. And that he's tech. And if you saw the movie, you know what that means. Villain, tech, Sinister Six, and Spider-Verse. So I'm really hoping that these 5 right here will be required for some sort of legendary event. Doc Ock just seems so obvious that he's missing. And I wonder if they're goodish until Doc Ock comes and he's going to have like that faux leadership ability. So that we'll see. Now, there's still some things that are a little bit unclear on this. And I just want to point out that, and I'll skip right to it, the basic attack says clear 3 positive effects from the primary target, attack primary target for 250% damage. And the reason why I'm reading that first is because in this Grand Masquerade, his passive ability, on spawn, apply 2 deflect to self and all Sinister Six allies. So yeah, you're going to want to use him on a Sinister Six team. Gain 20% focus per Spider-Verse ally. Spider-Verse allies gain 20% focus. Now, that makes me wonder if we should be using it with, like Carnage and Venom and all that. We'll see. On death, summon 2 mirror images at 260% of normal damage on 150% of normal health. Now, it doesn't say this here, but my understanding that the way this was supposed to work is that these mirror images, these summons, basically only can do basic attacks right here. So they don't get any of this other stuff. And that's kind of fun because when they die, then they come in to play, and then you could, revive. We got to try it. We got to revive it with Minerva or revive with Doctor Strange. Probably the first thing that I'm going to do when I unlock Mysterio is play around with this and see how many of these I can get on the board, because that's very interesting to me. But it's still not clear, and the footage that they gave us didn't really show Mysterio dying, at least the footage that I saw. Let's keep going on the kit. Master of Illusion special ability, apply blind to primary target. That's always good, right? Because blind basically causes them to miss, and that works on most characters. There's a couple of exceptions. That doesn't really work on Daredevil and Hawkeye, but most characters, it just makes them completely waste their ultimate, which is fantastic. Gain an assist from a random Sinister Six ally, and then gain another assist. That just seems like a very good ability. And if the target is a city hero, apply ability block. And the reason why that's important is because if you look at most of the city heroes, like if you're talking about defenders or whatever, it's like, well, if you hit this ability with Daredevil, well, that's not good because he's going to be able to bypass it. And then, a lot of them, like Luke Cage, he's just going to do an ability that doesn't attack. So that is kind of an important thing, the ability block, specific to city heroes. I mean, I think that's probably good on most of the city heroes except for Punisher. Punisher might have been better if he would have did his AoE and it completely missed. So that's probably one of the few ones. I mean, there's other city heroes, Spider-Man, things like that. Fine. Smoke and Mirrors, ultimate ability, 5 energy, attack all enemies for 350% damage, apply heal block to all enemies. So let's look at some more footage that they provided. I've got a bunch here. Let's do this arena one. I like the footage here. This just shows the background. Now, something I want to talk about just briefly, because there's a lot of stuff in the data mine where they're talking about how recently characters like Miles Morales was added to the Blitz store. Of course, Minerva was added to the Blitz store. And the data mine also suggests that we're going to be getting Falcon in the Blitz store. And I have a problem with this. And a couple people have been messaging me about this as well. And it has to do with Alliance Wars and using Alliance energy to do the extra attacks. There really is not enough Blitz that you can do to get maximum amount of attacks. And especially right now, I'm kind of forced to make a decision. And I'll go into my account and I'll show you. It's like, man, I need Miles. I need Miles to get Shuri, right? And it's like, wow, I really, my Alliance War is going to suffer, and I'm not going to be able to do max attacks anymore, because normally I would be spending on getting those, defense boosts and refreshes so that I can attack again. It's almost like it's become like a pay-to-win mechanic. Like you have to buy the pack if you want to be ultra competitive. And I know a guy in my guild does that, and he says it's killing him, and he's really upset with that. So, I mean, it's just one of those things. Let's go over the data mine real quick before we wrap up this video. A couple things here in the data mine was very interesting. We've got the Kree event coming. We've got Nick Fury coming very soon. The issue with Stark Tech was resolved. That was a big deal. For you that didn't know, it was a mess. Basically, if you went into Alliance Wars or Blitz and then you did some sort of PvE content, all of the Stark Tech buffs transferred over to the following battles, and you had to restart your phone to do that. Stark Tech issue is resolved. That's a big deal. Next, we have to talk about in the Blitz store, Falcon is coming, and I talked about this a little bit more. Falcon being in the Blitz store, and I already talked about this, but if you look inside of the Blitz store, oh my goodness. I mean, this is a really tough decision right here. You got War Energy, Spider-Man, Mantis. This currency right up here, which was so abundant in the past, now is really hard to get and find, and it's really affecting my Alliance Wars. I'm pretty much ignoring these defense boosts currently. Don't tell anybody. I'm telling on myself. I'm playing on BlueStacks. So if you don't have BlueStacks, you want to play on your PC or Mac, it's actually very helpful. Link is down in the description. It does help support this channel. So this is kind of a big deal. If they're going to be adding Falcon, because Falcon is part of Power Armor, and Falcon is one of the better characters. I mean, that Power Armor team on offense inside of Alliance Wars is insane. It really is. Vulture, and then they talk about Vulture comes into battle. There's going to be orbs, and then there's going to be a Blitz August 1st and 8th. Now, the one thing I'll say about when they put them in the Red Star orbs, they give that extra boost. What I do is I save as many of my Red Star crystals until that drop rate bumps. And if you look at like my Shocker video, basically I started opening Red Stars when his rate went to 10% until I opened up a Shocker. And I'm going to do the same thing with Vulture and Mysterio. When they boost the drop rate inside of Red Stars, I will open these. And I've been saving them. And you can see I have 18. And I will open them until I get the character I want, even if it's like 1 star or 2 star. Now, hopefully it only takes me 10 drops, right? Mathematically, it should only be 10 drops. So I have 18 saved, and hopefully that's enough for me to get a Red Star on Mysterio, because if I don't get the Red Star when it's boosted, it becomes very hard to get it later, because then the drop rate, is shared with all of the 100 characters, so you have like a 0.89 or 0.9% chance of pulling that character. But while there's that special promotion, be sure to do that. So be sure to look for the notification in game. I'm pretty sure they're going to have orbs. They've been doing that lately on the characters that have Blitz. They will do orbs. I will buy the orbs, and make a video about it. I'm really excited specifically about Mysterio and then Vulture and then trying out the 5 together. I'm hopeful that it's useful, at least in Blitz, at least as in like a low tier team inside of Alliance Wars. Now, for me, I'm going to take them into 8.3 inside of Blitz, and if they can beat Defenders, they'll get my blessing. I mean, I know they have a lot of city hero buffs, but that's just the way it is. So be sure to subscribe. If you don't want to keep up with all the data mines and all the Reddit posts, all the developer blogs, all of everything, this can be your one-stop shop for news. I keep track of everything, and I try to make a video about it so you guys can stay up to date with the game. There's tons of places in where information's coming from. And before I wrap up the video, I just want to say data mine info, which we're looking at right here, of course, is subject to change. It's just what the developers are thinking. But I'm expecting to have a Shocker Blitz, and then the week after a Mysterio Blitz, and then the week after that we'll have a Vulture Blitz. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and keep on gaming.